Hey, good morning. I'm Catherine, the Big Vision Coach, and this is the Daily One Command. This week we are talking about claim your treasure. And so far it's really been fun. I have to say, I love when we have this theme and we get to go a little bit deeper on it. When we're thinking about the treasure, it is the thing that we are each seeking in our life for fulfillment. And whatever it is that we're seeking that will bring fulfillment, it is also what will bring forth the greatest aspect of ourselves, the fullness of our character, the fullness of our expression in the world. And that's what we're talking about. And then along the way, and from that one, we get to have riches in all the ways that it means to be rich, not just financially, not in security, but in the relationships and the things that truly matter to you. That, that right? And when I talk about the it's this. There's this moment, like I don't know if you've ever had to do a Thanksgiving dinner or you put together an event, you wanted to get everybody together, and there's this moment, it's kind of like herding cats, is what we say in the South. And there's all the details and all the effort and all the work. You do all the stuff. And then there's this moment after, maybe it's after dinner, or maybe everybody's around the table, and you look and it's that moment and you go, ah, that. Um, Asara and I were talking about this one time, and I said, I don't know if you necessarily wanted a big house. And she said, I never thought of myself of having a big house. She had a big, beautiful 4,800 square foot, a couple of acres of property. And I said, what I really think what you were after was in the morning when you wake up and you look out in that yard, like you can see your garden and you look out in the yard and you know that it's yours. You go, ah. And she said, how do you know that? And I said, I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. She said, literally, that's what I do every morning when I wake up. And I'm not just looking at my beautiful room. I see how the sunlight is shining through, or the snow. It might even be a rainy morning, but sometimes there's a deer. But every morning I can look out that window and I go, because that is the wish fulfilled. That's what we're after. And sometimes we don't know. We mistakenly gather stuff. We think, oh, if I have to work hard, or if I do all this stuff, or if I sacrifice or surrender, I will get it, right? Well, that's when the ego and the mind's running. But here's the interesting thing that, yeah, there may be sacrifice, there may be disappointment, there may be loss, but you have to attach a different meaning to it. You have to attach that experience to the fulfillment of your desire rather than the penalty you have to pay. You see the difference? It's kind of called two ways of running. You can run towards something or away from something. So when we're thinking about today's one command session and our claim your treasure day 3, what are we talking about? What's the lens that we're going to look at this today? And this is an interesting one. This one may seem a little difficult, but the quote is, be proud of your scars. They have everything to do with your strength and what you've endured. They're a treasure map to the deep self. And what does this have to do with that moment? Well, what that has to do with is what we talk about in the one command when we make the one command statement of I don't know how, and whatever it is we want to attract, manifest, or create, whatever challenge we want to meet from our greater selves. I don't know how and we state what we want or desire. I only know it's so now because we're aligning to the now, not maybe what you're experiencing in this instant, but everything is now. Do you get that in the subconscious mind? It's now o'clock. And so you're holding the space for the now of the fulfillment of your desire. Okay, now in ordinary beta time, there could be a time lag, right? A time lag. But we're holding that now as our truth. That's our treasure. and I am fulfilled. The fulfillment part is knowing that the person that we are today, the situation that we're in today, the way of thinking that we have today, the circumstances today have to change. And in that change, will change in the process. Um, I wish I could remember. I want to say it was Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard was the one who quoted this, but I don't know who the original quote is. But it's when the man goes into the river, he comes out changed, and the river is changed too. We, our experiences change us, right? And we understand that that change is part of it. And I think we can get that. And the other thing is that we have to associate everything that we've done up until now with our the fulfillment of our desire. I mean everything. Because otherwise, if we give it the meaning of that it was lost, we were stolen, something was stolen from us, or taken from us, um, how we were abused, seeing ourselves as a victim of life, a victim of circumstances, then we're going to associate with that, and we're going to be trying to move away from that rather than to the future. But what we will inadvertently do is project those secret fears, that shame, that unresolved anger, and those become our own roadblocks. That's what we're talking about with karma. Okay, so when we bless our experiences, which seems easy on the surface, but it can be hard. Talk to someone who has PTSD, talk to an abuse victim, talk to someone who's been in the foster care system. And it's going to be really hard for them to accept that all things are working together for their good, that this is something that is ultimately going to be for their good. That's why, like, as a coach, if you're a coach or a healer or whatever profession you're in, right, and my job is to hold the space of that truth until my client or the person I'm with can understand that. So I'm going to hold that true for you in the moment. Okay, so there's an archetype that I want to share with you, and you may have seen this person before if you watch television very much. This is the character Jamie Fraser from the uh, Star series Outlander. And if you have not watched this show or don't know the books or anything, then just very briefly, this character Jamie is Scottishman. He's living in the 1700s. He's at the time of a big revolution in Scotland. He's kind of the band of the revolutionaries there, and he has a lot of challenges under the English lords. Okay, and he's a nobleman, and he's had a lot of physical abuse, and there's a lot of abuse in this show. And at the same time, it is so inspiring. And this character, to me, is the most amazing character, I think, on television. Good morning, Remy. Good morning, Jody. Yeah, Remy's like, oh, I love Jamie. You know why we love Jamie? You know why? I mean, besides the fact, look at him. He is beautiful, but his soul, he is a warrior, he's a fighter, but his treasure is in love and relationships. So, yeah, this is a bodice ripper kind of series, but Jamie has got this heart and he has the courage to love. He's vulnerable, right? He knows how to tell the truth about how he feels, and he's been through horrific experiences. And through the show, you see him taking those experiences and wind up helping other people. It steels him inside to continue to create something even greater, not just for himself, but he always thinks about the other people that he wants to save, who he wants them to have their hopes and their dreams fulfilled. Plus, they got some pretty good love scenes. I'm not going to lie. They've got that. But the striking thing about this character is that on his beautiful, perfect body is his back is covered in horrific scars. And all through the series, at the times when he is with his lover Claire, and this is a time traveling love story. I'm not going to go into all the details, but when he is with his soulmate Claire, the woman he loves with all his heart, and these two have an amazing relationship. When he's vulnerable, when they're showing him loving her, they show his scarred back and how everything he's been through, he brings to this. Like, it makes it all worth it for this moment. It's just an extraordinary metaphor. I really just love looking at different heroes and characters, and I think about the metaphor in the story. And Jamie always has challenges, and the main thing for him is everybody wants Jamie to serve them. Okay, now you may relate to this. Oh, come to work for us, Jamie. Come serve this battalion. Come lead this. Come lead this. So everybody listens to you. Everyone trusts you. So they are always trying to get him to do things, and he struggles not because, um, you know, of the extra work. It has to align to his character because he knows where his treasure is. And so, um, I would suggest that you find someone or something that represents like the metaphor for what you admire, right? That stands for that. So Jamie's one of those people, and there's different characters that I can look at and go, wow, they're incredible. Like right now, um, Zelensky and in Ukraine as a leader, what a hero. And there's something in just watching him lead and his commitment and the way he's, the stance, and then you see the humility. Something in me lights up and wants to rise up. And so I'm not a fangirl, but I look at people who make something in me rise up. That is a clue. When you see someone like that you rise up and you go, yes, that's something greater, something better. That's a way of myself that I want to reflect, or I want to express that in my life. I want to be like that. That's a clue from your soul. That's a clue about where your treasure is hidden. So look at who and what you admire, but also pay attention to why. Okay. So there's a thought that I want to have you tune in when we're thinking about this idea about this quote. I'm going to read it again. This lens that we're looking through. To be proud of your scars. They have everything to do with your strength and what you've endured. They're a treasure map to the deepest self. Now, this could be, we could think about the metaphoric scrapes and bangs on our knees from trying and failing at business, those broken hearts, that scar tissue of life, right? But understand what you were after when you made those choices. What were you going after? And we want to honor that, okay? That's the idea here. So I want to share just a little thought with you. I didn't get to put it on a slide, but I'm going to read it for the recording. Every path, every twist, turn, and dead end have taken me closer to my treasure. Just sit with that for a moment. Every path, every twist, every turn, and dead end have taken me closer to my treasure. I think it's important to have an idea like this to say, hey, it's all things are working together for my good. All things lead to love. Everything leads to God, right? All paths, that's the Tao. But when we do that and we affirm that, we shift the meaning and it puts us actually on the right path. Okay? And so I want you to just think about what it is that you're after. We could think about it could be called your chief aim. Okay? What is your main goal? So it could be, I want to hit 30,000 a month. Well, that's cool. That's a goal. That's some of the evidence. But what will you be able to have, be, or do as a result? Right? But then let's say, and this is important because you'll hear, hey, visualize. What you want to visualize is what is going to be that ah moment. Ah, yeah. And it's that of like recognition, and then you take it in. So that's where we hear Joseph Campbell gave a little great talk on the om sound of meditation. Ah, recognition, creation. Ah, is that creation. So it's like, wow, look at my creation. Ah, look at my creation. This is good. You take it in, you're savoring it. So for you, let's say you have that business you want, you have the relationship you want, you have the body you want, you have the home you want, you have the car, you have whatever that is that you know that the journey to that, as a result of that journey, you're going to be a better person. As a result of that journey, you're going to be meeting teachers and tricksters along the way, but also you're going to be making a difference in people's lives along the way. Tune in, close your eyes, focus on your heart. Think about whatever it is, your big intention. We said our intention is our GPS system that's guiding us there, but our heart is the Geiger counter that lets us know that this is it, right? What is that moment? This is good. And if you can't find it, then start with the ah. Okay? Start with the ah. So right now, if it were there, if you knew, we don't know what you would know, but we know what it would feel like, right? We don't know what it would look like. We don't know what we would hear. We don't know what the evidence is yet, but we know what it might feel like. So right now, just tune into your heart, kind of breathe in and go, ah, ah. One more time. Ah, yeah, this is it. Be present to that feeling. And now I wonder, and this is a clue that I'm giving you, I wonder what you would see. What are you seeing now in this awe of that moment of fulfillment? Ah, is it long past the event, the fulfillment of everything? And maybe you're in your twilight years and you're looking back and go, wow, that was amazing. I'm so grateful. Ah, look at all of it. Or is it just a beautiful moment when the sunlight's hitting you right, in the moment right, that little golden ray, and things are just falling, and you know it, and you appreciate it. All is well. All is well. I'm going to bring up the affirmation again, and I'm going to, just with your eyes closed, let me say it for you, and you just follow along mentally in the state of being. Every path, every twist, turn, and dead end have taken me closer to my treasure, have beautifully and perfectly taken me to this moment. And I'm grateful. And just let that gratitude begin to expand. We're going to do something a little different today. Just let that expand. And now, just become grounded in that state of being. Bring it into your current reality. Feel your connection to the earth and the support of your environment. Yes, every path, every twist, turn and dead end have taken me closer to my treasure. And I am grateful. And bringing your attention to your heart as you're aligning to your treasure. All things are working together perfectly for my good. Focus on your heart. All paths have led to the fulfillment of my desire. Every path, every twist, every turn, and dead end have taken me closer to my treasure. And I am grateful. Very softly, remember to breathe. Just very slightly lift your chin up. Roll your eyes up, go up to that beautiful white light place. Yeah, just break through the darkness right into the light, the pure, open potential. Keeping your eyes up. And here's the command. I don't know how. I have a new awareness and appreciation of everything that has led to the fulfillment of my desire. I only know I have my treasure now. I am the treasure now. And I am fulfilled. Just sit with that for a moment. Everything, every experience, every relationship, every aspect of you, all the ways that you've been and you've shown up have taken you closer to your treasure. And now it's in your hand. And I don't know how. I absolutely know what my treasure is. And I now embody it. I now have it. I now experience it. I now flow in it. I only know that I am that treasure. And I am the creator of that treasure. I am the experiencer of that treasure. And I am the witness of that treasure. Now, and I am fulfilled. Very powerful. You're going to want to listen to this one again. Stay with me and just let your eyes relax and just expand that out to an idea even greater. Allow your consciousness just to expand out more and more. And right now, just allow yourself to come back down into your body and just start receiving with gratitude that greater awareness, that new attitude, that greater understanding, that clarity that you've been seeking. And as you receive it, we're just going to unwind all those old judgments and those doubts and the resentment and the shame. And we're going to let it just all go. We're going to let go of that old story. Just unwind. Let it all go. And now, just allow these new ideas, this greater state of being, this whole new attitude start to rewind and align to this truth and just let it all integrate. And just for a minute, when you think about the path that you've been on up until now, you've been seeking, even when you thought you gave up. You've been unconsciously moving towards that. It's literally impossible to fail, but it is difficult sometimes to recognize it because our mind is so busy, because we haven't decided to look at it another way. But if you look at it through this lens, that all things are working together, everything's leading you closer to your treasure. What do you know now that you didn't know before? What can you accept? What can you let go of? What can you look at as proof that your treasure is yours right here, right now, and all you have to do is claim it? This is definitely something you want to spend time with. You want to spend a few minutes writing this down. And this is Claim Your Treasure Week. So you might make a special heading. I've got a separate, in the YouTube playlist, you'll see the Claim Your Treasure playlist. That's got all the videos for this week, including the Friday Commanding Cash Call. Okay. And then what are you gonna do next? I mean, what is the seventh step of inspired action? You might be ready for that idea or that inspiration or opportunity, and of course, go for it. But I would also ask, as you look around your life right now, and even though your life may not look exactly like you want it to right now, what in your life can you look at and say, this is good? And make the decision to look for that. When you see it, when you recognize it, bless it. Say, thank you. I love this. This is how my life is. This is the truth of my life, that good thing. It doesn't matter how tiny it is. Maybe all you can manage to think about is, you know what, every day I get to have the perfect cup of coffee, or at least every day I look out and I can see a beautiful sunset. Maybe it's no more than that, but no matter what that one thing is, be present to it fully and anchor into it with that. Ah, because what's going to happen is you're going to start creating this little chain. It's almost like these pearls on a necklace start assembling, and you start going from to to and that will absolutely turn your life around. And guess what? Life will reflect back to you, and as you start paying more attention to those things, more of those things start showing up. It becomes your lens of reality, and your subconscious mind goes, this feels good, I love it, let's create some more of that. And that's how we manifest our desires. I hope that this has been beneficial to you, and we're going to go ahead and end on that note. So until next time, this is Catherine Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and I'm Finish Your Mastery. Bye-bye, everybody.